Good morning, Olympus. Today is May 11th, and you're watching OlyTV.
This last Tuesday, State Street closed at 2100 South, and the Raising Cane's restaurant on 2150 South State Street was evacuated due to a pipe bomb that was found outside the restaurant. The State Unified Fire Authority bomb team responded to the attack and safely detonated the pipe bomb. State Street has since been reopened, but Raising Cane's still remains closed. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
On Tuesday, the U.S. hit an all-time record high with a gallon of gas going for $4.37. The prices have been going up because crude oil prices have gone up. It went from $100 a barrel to $110 a barrel from last week to this week. The high prices of oil have been linked back to many countries refusing to get oil from Russia during the Russia-Ukraine war. However, the gas prices have begun to rise even after Russia-Ukraine war due to the OPEC limiting supply. Unfortunately, there is currently no end in sight.
Yesterday, the girls' golf team took third place with a score of 724 points at the River Oaks Golf Course. The Titans were able to get some redemption after losing to Skyline for their region title as they beat Skyline in the 5A championship. Rachel Moore led the Titans with a score of 32+, then Campbell Cato had a score of 38+, and Tia Maxwell achieved a score of 49+. Now on to Mark and Jack with more on sports.
In school sports, boys lacrosse travels up the street to take on Skyline blackout style in the battle for the Wasatch Crown. The Titans come in as the undisputed favorite for 5A and are looking to protect their perfect record. Ladies lacrosse also takes on Skyline today in a huge matchup with massive region implications.
In softball, the Titans concluded their season yesterday with a 7-3 loss to East. Olympus posted a 9-12 record and finished 24th in RPI.
The Titans are looking to make some magic moving into their first round single elimination matchup against Woods Cross.
In baseball, Olympus fell to Skyline yesterday 7-6. The Titans have now lost back-to-back games to the Eagles by 1 run and are looking to redeem themselves on the road this afternoon.
In soccer, the Titans snagged a 3-0 senior night win yesterday against East to wrap up their regular season. Olympus finished 7th in RPI with a 10-6-0 record and secured a first-round playoff bye. The Titans' first playoff match will take place next Tuesday at 4 p.m. In the NBA, the Mavericks fell to the Suns last night, 110-80, and are now one loss away from going home. Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton poured in 48 combined points in a dominating performance. The Heat responded last night after losing 2 straight to the Sixers by blowing Philadelphia off the floor in Game 5, 120-85, securing a 3-2 lead. Jimmy Butler put up 23 points and 9 rebounds in the win. Jack, what do the Heat need to do now with that 3-2 lead to close out the series and advance to the conference finals?
Well, first of all, for the Heat to start the series, they were up 2-0, and then they lost the next 2 straight. So going into that Game 5, you weren't kind of sure whether their momentum of the Sixers was going to carry over. But after the series is 2-2, it's now not a 7-game series, it's a 3-game series. And that first game, Game 5, is huge. You take that win, and you're in a great spot for the rest of the series. So the Heat, they're looking good. One of the next 2 games, if they can get 1 win, they're in the next round. So they don't need to get it necessarily in Philly. Keep it close, and at the end, if Philly pulls away, that's okay. But make sure you're ready to go at home for Game 7.
In the Warriors-Grizzlies series, the Warriors ground out a tough 101-98 win on Monday to take a 3-1 lead despite a great defensive performance from the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies' comeback chances took a huge hit yesterday with the release of Ja Morant's MRI results. The star Grizzlies guard suffered a bone bruise and is listed as doubtful for the rest of the playoffs. Jack, what does losing Ja Morant mean to the Grizzlies?
Well, in the first playoff series, first round for the Grizzlies, Ja Morant was the one in the clutch making the shots against the Timberwolves, willing them past the Timberwolves in that first round. And if you lose your main player, your main scorer, your leader, it's really hard to go back from that. You've got to figure out who gets the ball now down the stretch. You got to figure out who's going to lead us, who's going to get us past this in the clutch in these big moments. And losing him, sure, it may give you a little bit of motivation to win it for him, play harder for him because you don't have him, but it's still a huge loss, and you need to figure out how to work around him. And like we saw in that game, they didn't quite have enough in the clutch to get it done. And
the Warriors were able to take that lead with 45 seconds left and ended up winning Game 4. In the Celtics-Bucks series, the Celtics stole Game 4, 116-108, despite trailing by 7 at the start of the fourth. Boston got a huge lift from veteran forward Al Horford. Horford dropped a career playoff high 30 points, including 16 in the fourth quarter. The series shifts back to Boston tonight, tied at 2-2 for an ultra-important Game 5. Back to you guys.
The murder defendant who escaped from an Alabama detention center with a corrections official on April 29th had previous experience trying to escape prison and winning the trust of his captors.
Casey White, age 38, was seen on surveillance camera in an orange jumpsuit and shackles being led into a patrol car by Vicky White, age 56, a corrections official. She had told her bosses and co-workers that she was taking him to a court for a mental health evaluation, but authorities soon discovered that there was no evaluation or hearing scheduled for that day.
The duo ditched the patrol car and fled the state in another vehicle on Monday, May 9th. They were captured in Evansville, Indiana, when their vehicle crashed following a chase. Vicky White was hospitalized with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound and died, officials say.
Casey White was returned to Alabama on Tuesday night to attend an arraignment where he was charged with escape in the first degree in addition to the capital murder charges he already faces. He was then transferred to the William E. Donaldson Correctional Facility in Bessemer, Alabama, a little more than 100 miles south of Lauderdale County.
Ever heard of Victory Day? On May 9th, Soviet government declared the defeat of Nazi Germany after signing ceremony in Berlin. May 9th is now a holiday in Russia, gaining the title Victory Day.
In 1973, there was a Supreme Court case called Roe v. Wade, where the Supreme Court ruled that a pregnant woman getting an abortion in the first trimester was protected by the Constitution. In modern days, it has recently been leaked that the Supreme Court is preparing to overturn the case, removing any federal protection for women to have access to abortions and birth control, and instead of letting each state decide. The main reason for overturning the case is that the Supreme Court is not supposed to create laws and only interpret them. However, the reason for so much pushback on the overturn is that without the law, people would have no federal protection for any kind of birth control. There has also been talk that the right to privacy, which protects people being able to get birth control, is also what protects same-sex and interracial marriage, so that may be at risk as well. With all of the recent pushback, students have also started to get involved. Tomorrow, on Thursday, May 12th, there will be a nationwide student walkout right after second period starts.
People are worried that this will affect our LGBTQ community members, but remember to stay strong. We as an OlyTV family and me as a person love and support you all and want to remind you of your worth. This coming Pride Month, let's all stand together as one. You have so much to live for. Suicide rates get higher during the summertime, so remember there is always someone there for you. If you ever need a friend, don't be afraid to stop me in the hallway. I love you all so much. Some news that may be harder to hear: the Ukraine war is not coming to an end quite yet, and people are shocked to know that that the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, flew out to Ukraine to visit the survivors of this horrible war. Nearly a third of Ukraine's jobs have been lost amid the war, and Hungary explains the key spoiler to EU unity over Russia oil ban. Biden does plan to address rising prices and global shortages. On to the news you have all been waiting for. The Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial is still going on. And as this trial goes on, as hearsay is said more, the internet is still siding with Depp. People are insanely against Amber Heard to a point that some don't believe she will ever come back from this. However, some people believe that Amber's a victim, but so is Depp. Love you, Mom.
If you're interested in voting on anything we've talked about today, check out our Instagram story and share your opinion via polls. That's all for today. Be sure to like and subscribe to OlyTV and follow our Instagram page for more fun content. Have a great day, everyone.